Hello, this is Claude, and today I'm doing a quick video about the new Floe Riing 360, the TT Thermaltake Premium Edition. It's 3x120 millimeter, so 12 centimeter diameter fans. Three of them, RGB and all the good stuff, and that's what it is. So I'm gonna make the video is gonna be mostly about, I'm in the middle of the build right here. And the video is going to be about the installation itself. There's a lot of videos of, once again, all my favorite YouTubers that got the free version from Thermaltake, and then they're all holding their faces in their hands, saying, "OMG, it's so nice, it's the best ever." And then you try to do the install, and it's not as user-friendly as it should be. I've got NZXT Kraken, and I've got some Corsairs. H115 or 110X or I, whatever that is, and way easier to install. You know, the manuals that come with instructions with the other brands are much easier to understand. So I'm going to go through the installs because nobody shows it in a case install, or else they just don't say how they connected it. So I'm going to show how to connect the unit. So I've got one unit out of the box here. And I've got the one here so you can see what it looks like once it's installed and what it looks like in the case. So that's what it is. So I've got fan galore. I've got on the radiator push-pull, so that's 6 120 millimeter fans in there. I've got 4 14 or 140 with the 14, the Riing 14. So that's what it is. So let me do some quick comments first on the install so I can get rid of the box right now. So it's going to be made with the least amount of editing after, anyway. So yeah, things that I like, obviously the water block. It looks very nice with the Thermaltake. It looks very good. When it's not lit up, it looks plasticky and cheap compared to the NZXT kind of glass and all of that. It feels much more solid than that, and the Corsair just oozes quality with the metallic top. So this feels a little plasticky, feels a little cheap. So if you knock on it, you hear the little plasticky sound. So that's what I don't like. The hoses are the shortest that I've seen, so I barely could make it over there. So I've got a 960 Pro right there because Asus with the Prime Deluxe motherboard. There's a M2 bay that is under over here, so I've got one right here, and then the second slot is right here vertical with the bracket, and I did cut the bracket to make it kind of flush with the unit, with the M2 drive. So that's what it is, but you see this is a weird position, so an inch or two, you know what, 2 inches, the hoses are 2 inches too short. So you know, another 2 inches I could have just put it a level below that and just send it all the way. So this is a Thermaltake case. This is the View 31 because I could not put my hands on the View 71 all glass. It's out of stock everywhere. But so I imagine that the V71 is going to be a little bit bigger. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to put my radiator in front on this one. I know they can put it on the side way like this. I don't like that. So but the cable is a little too short. It's like the Thermaltake, please next time, you know, next version, add 2 inches to these hoses. They're too short. If you look at the water block also, it doesn't sit straight, all right, and it's not completely straight. It's tilted at an angle, like just slightly like that, all right. So same thing here at Thermaltake. Could you just make it straight next time? So I put the bracket the way it's supposed to be. You know, if I try to put it the other way, at first the hoses is not going to fit, but still it's going to be completely out the other side. So this is as straight as it can be from the box. Like I say, it's not the installer because you got the holes there for the standoffs, and this is where there's the only one way you can install it, and that's the way it is. And everybody that I've seen so far had their Thermaltake like either crooked, like or not straight. So this is what it is. Crooked or not straight is the same thing, by the way. So that's what it is, and this is the software. I've got 3 controllers right there. You can see 1, 2, 3 in the software. So I'll show you how this works at the end. I'm still in the middle of the build. I'm going to show you. I'm going to have a heck of a job of cable management, you know, to fix that mess. and the controls. I've got 3 of them in daisy chain, so I'm going to show you how to do this. And this is how the case looks from the front. All right, so that's what it is. Looks good. All right, so now yeah, let me show you the components here. So and how to install it. So this is the water pump. First thing you're gonna do, obviously, now this is one that I removed and I put another one. I had some issues with this one. It was making like water noises, but like there was a bubble or something in it, but that's what it was. So I returned it. So I got this one. I'm about to return it. So the water pump, the water block comes with two wires coming out of it. All right. So one is for the fan control. This is a big mistake from the design from Thermaltake. Big mistake, buddy. Big mistake. You're gonna have a lot of returns and you're gonna waste a lot of money. So this basically is a USB 2 header. It's got 9 pins. All right, you got the empty one. It's USB 2. The problem is that the pin out for this is when you're gonna install it in the controller. I'm gonna show control after, but it goes in the controller in one of these connectors, right? In those slots here. In every one of my videos I always talk about the slots. I like the slots, apparently. So here is the 9-pin connector. You will just go put this from the water block. You will put this into one of these things here, right there. All right, this is what you're gonna do as one of the fans. All right, and then on the controller, quickly, the way it goes, they have numbers. Number 1, number 2, fan number 1, fan number 2, fan number 3, starting from the right, and fan number 4 and fan number 5. This is how it goes. So when you're gonna go into your software, it's gonna tell you fan number 1, 2, and 3. This is what it's gonna be. This is where it's taking it from, right? So 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, I'm in the middle of the build. Got papers everywhere. I need to leave for today, and then I didn't have time to set up properly like I always do. But this is what I've done. Controller 1, and I've got all my things there. So I wrote what they were. You know, black case 14-inch. Yes, top back of the case. The second one. Top back of the case 14, top middle, top front, the radiator in the back bottom in the front. That's this one here. So I've identified them all. So after that, if I want to go to the controller, I can go just change the name of what they are. All right, so that's what I've done. It's much more easier. Or you can just dim the lights, or just you can click here and then you just take the light out, and so you can identify immediately which one it is. But I just noted it, so that's what I do. So go back to the control. So anyway, so this is what is going to happen on the control, and I'm going to show you what they do. But that's the point I want to make right now was for the water block. So the USB connector on the water block goes into the fan controller as a fan. So it's a fan. It just wants to control RGB. The big mistake is that a lot of people are going to think, oh, it's a USB 2, and then they will try to go put it straight into the motherboard, into their USB port. And I've got the NZXT, and I'm going to show it because most new motherboards only have one. So I've got the nice NZXT right here. As you can see, I've got an NZXT internal hub right there. So one goes to the motherboard, the first one in white, and then the other ones I've got two more. I've got my USB, my fan controllers go right. The fan controllers go right there. All right, so that's the fan controllers, not the water block. So the fan controllers will go there. It's also USB 2. Okay, so the water block does not go into the NZXT or in the USB of the motherboard. All the fans, they go to the controller. So do not make the mistake of putting it onto the motherboard, or else you will blow the RGBs. Because RGBs is a LED, light emitting diodes, and there's a polarity to that. If you change reverse polarity, poof, you lose the light. You don't hear nothing, no smoke, it just poof goes. Don't do it, bro. So big mistake Thermaltake for putting connectors that could be easily put in the wrong place and damaged. Stupid. Anyway, this is the big point I need to make. All right. So the USB type connector on the water block goes into the fan controllers. All right. Point very well made. Now the little other connector that goes from the water block is a little regular fan, 3-pin fan header. All right, so this one goes into your motherboard, and this goes into the motherboard right here, or whatever your motherboard says. It has to be the one that says CPU fan. All right, that says right here somewhere CPU fan. If you don't plug this into CPU fan, what's going to happen is that your computer is going to turn on and all of that, and when it tries to boot, it's going to tell you there's no CPU fan, so it's going to shut down. It's not going to let you continue, all right? So it needs to be connected there, all right? So that's very important. So this is for the thing there for the water block, you know, in the front. Second thing I need to talk, and then I'll go more in details with the connections with the controllers. And I'll show you. One thing you need to know is that when you buy, this is another shortcoming of Thermaltake. And I'm sorry, like I said, I'm in the middle of the build here, so I've got everything everywhere. It's a mess. So, all right, let me show you. When you buy, like I bought, the radiator comes with only 12 or ring 12. I bought another 3 for the front, push-pull, and I bought 4 or 2 packs of 3 for the other ones, all right? So the screws or the machine screws that come with the other ring fans, let me tell you right now, are these, okay? These are not compatible with the holes that are made in the rad. They are not. So if you try to screw your thing and then you're gonna, come on, it's not working. No, because it doesn't work. It's the diameter is too small. The correct diameter of the screws that come with the radiator itself comes with a set of 12 screws. If you put fans on one side, you're gonna have your 12 screws right here, all right? And this is what I've used them on the other side. So what I've done is the screws that came with the radiator, with the extra fans that I bought separately are not compatible. They should be. Thermaltake to Thermaltake. Come on, guys. So what I did, I went out on Amazon and I bought some more screws. All right, and I bought them black. So the first day I went to Home Depot. I was in a rush to get it done, and it looks like shit. But still, the size of screws that you want is 632 by 1 1/4. 632 by 1 1/4. More than that, you're gonna bust. So that's what it is here. That's the length, 1 1/4. The right ones that come with the radiator are 632 by 1 1/4. So that's what I want to say. So if you're gonna do push-pull, do just like me. And then me, I went after that, and I went online on Amazon. Trusted Amazon. I buy some black machine screws. It says here in very small letters, 632 by 1 1/4, black, and all of that. And this is machine screw. This is what you're looking for. All right, Phillips machine screw. So this being said, I can move on. All right, so done for the screws. Talking about screwing, yes, Thermaltake, you screwed up on this one, baby. So anyway, so okay, so this, like I said, CPU. The first one on the water block, this goes into the fan controller, and you're gonna put into the fan controller. Let's talk about the fan controller. Like I said, also this is a 14 centimeter fan. Like I said, same thing here, USB 2 style. All right. So this will go as well in there. So like I said, the way you connect it, and I'm gonna show you the difference of the controllers. This is the controller that come with the additional fans. And this is the controller. I'm going to show the differences right here. And this is the controller that comes with the radiator, the 360 flow, whatever that's called. So this is the micro USB. This is the control that is going to go to the motherboard, and then I'm going to show you after. But look at this. Here is the bridge. So when you've got multiple unit, this is what it's for. It's a bridge. So I'm gonna see if I got a cable somewhere. Yes. So this is that stupid little cable which I didn't know what to do with when I got it. So this is when you've got multiple units. What I do is that controller number 1, I'm taking the big cable that comes with it. Let me pull it out. There's a big cable. Sorry about that. It's you know, I'm trying to do everything here with one hand. And so this is what this is the cable that comes with it. Look, it's a double micro USB. It's a V here, so it's a splitter cable. You can put 2 controllers on it, send to the motherboard. So this is the cable with the micro USB and that the USB 2. So this is the cable that goes to the motherboard. All right, it goes to micro USB. You just install it on one. Even if you have multiple, I'm gonna give you a hint. Just do one. That's gonna go to the motherboard because you can use the bridge to connect all the other ones. So micro USB is going to go into that micro USB here, and I do it on my first controller, controller 1, and then the USB 2 into the motherboard. So you send that into the motherboard. So this is connected here. So that's good. Now if you've got multiple units out of there, if you got multiple units, then you connect this little cable, this little fellow right here. So you connect this thing here and then head down, I think, yeah, head down like this, and then with the micro USB going into the other one right here. Okay, so this is for the Ring, but if you've got two of them, for example, me, that's my configuration. I've got 3 controllers, so 2 with the bridge one, and the last one is for my rad. I keep this one as the last one in my chain. So first is the connection is this one is going to go to with the splitter cable, the long splitter cable, micro USB to USB 2. This goes into the motherboard. This one put a bridge right here going into the next one. So we mentioned there's another one here, would go into the USB, and then the last one after that on controller 2 would go the same thing with the bridge here, and going to the rad here. So that would be for my 3 controllers. All right. So that's for the bridge and the connection to the motherboard. So get rid of that. All right. So now let me talk about the controllers, because it's not very well explained in the instructions. All right. So every controller, sorry about that. So there's a sheet that comes with it, and this is where, you know, it talks about, look at this, and this one here, it talks about what comes with it and all of that. It doesn't say much, and even in the other instruction sheet, it doesn't tell you what to do with it doesn't even mention the bridge connector. And it doesn't even mention where the water block connects to the USB 2. Does it go to the motherboard? No. Or does it go into the fan controller? Yes, of course. But it doesn't say in the instructions, so watch out for that. So here, anyway, it says here, the first controller is control number 1. This is the dip switch. Everything is going to be off. That's control number 1. Control number 2 is going to be only the number 1 up. Control number 3 is going to be only the number 2 up, and so forth. All right. So you need to go through that. This is how the software will recognize which controller is which. If you don't do it, you're gonna have problems. So anyway, so this is set up as controller number 1 because everything's at 0, and here is going to be as controller number 2 because it's just the one being there. All right. So in my configuration that I have, I've got the first set of fans control is at controller 1. The second one is this, another one like this with the first dip switch on up for number 2. And here in my computer now is I've got this one as the dip switch number 2 up. It would be the number 2 up as controller number 3. All right, and I put my rad in here. All right. So the water block comes right into the USB port number 1 in this one here. Okay, like I said, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. This is how it goes. All right. So okay, so that's what it is. Let me talk about also some other connections. So let's talk now about the I'm gonna get rid of this fan. I've showed them the USB 2 style connector. Big mistake. So I'm going to talk about some of the cables. I'm sorry, like I said, it's a mess here. So I'm going to talk about the cables and where they go. All right. So this is the splitter. I've talked about it. You just connect to one of them. No need to do that if you use the bridge. All right. So the power connectors. So basically, this is there's two lengths. There's a short one and there's a longer one. Use the one you need. The problem that I have with that, this is what I'm showing here, is that when you put, we're going to put the connector right here. It's like a, like a fan thing there with the hooks there, the edges on top, the raised edges. You're gonna take that, kind of put in your connector in your thing here. This is where it goes. The power goes next to the dip switches. So this is the power. The problem that I had and that you need to check is that my thing was not working, control is not working. I looked at all my Molex, and stupid Molex has a tendency of doing that. So the Molex is that when you put the Molex together, you push against the power because you got power coming out of there. I've got a Molex with the 3 Molex coming out of there, so I connect all my controllers to it. But the thing is that when you push it, that the pin pushed out against it, so the connection was not made, so it couldn't see some of my controllers. So I had to recheck all my Molex connections. So be careful when you do that. It might be a cause of your problems. It was for me, and I had to recheck all the connection and put the pins back correctly, and then change the direction of the little things that had come back up, and then put them back, and then put them back in the socket and reconnect it. So that's what it is. Just be careful with the Molex. That's my point here. So anyway, so like I said, this is the power. So every controller needs to be powered. Just for the record, every controller needs to be powered, and you put them on with their little Molex. Connect that to your power supply. So that's what it is. We talked about that. The fans. We talked about the fans as well. So 1, 2, 3. Like I said that. 4, 5 for each controller, right? So maybe what I've done with the dip switch, because this is, it's called, this here would be controller number 1, all the dip switch at 0. I even put controller 1. So when I play around with my thing, my mess behind, I know which one is which, controller 1, 2, 3. And I've got a noted my things. So that's what it is, all right? So that's more or less what the controllers are. Like I said, the difference between the controllers that come with the ring is that gives you the bridge, and the one for the rad does not come with that. If you remove the tape that they put on top, there's nothing in there. So I checked yesterday. So that's what it is. Like I said in my line, I put the regular ones in the beginning of my chain, and then the one for the rad is the last in my chain. All right, there you go. So that's what it is. All right, what else did I want to mention? That's about it. And last point I'm going to make here. Also, I wanted to talk about the bridge. I had a hard time with it, and I thought, oh man, I'm stupid, so I cannot see it. But you know what? The controller here, it says bridge cable D. All right, but this is where I went a little too fast. It says bridge cable here. But if you look in the instructions on that sheet, nowhere does it talk about two things: how to use the bridge, how to connect it, and how to connect the water block. No, USB 2 type, and now we know it goes into the fan controller, but it doesn't say nowhere in the instructions. So a lot of people will not know, and they will go too fast, and obviously the pinout is different, and from RGB to what it is on the USB 2 pins on the motherboard are not RGB, so obviously the pinout is different. So if you connect in what board is going to go, it doesn't say in the software. So alright, big mistake right there. Now I'm going to hold the camera the other way around, and that's not going to be easy, but I'm going to show you because I need to go make some cross border. I'm just across the border here, so I need to go cross border today and do some errands on the other side. So I'm Canadian, so I need to go. I'm in the Toronto area. I'm going to go to Buffalo today, so I need to get things going. So this is the fans there. This is not my setup. This is just a workbench, my electronics that I call electronics workbench. So this is where I do all my stuff, and this is why it's kind of a weird video, or one-handed video here. So that's what the controller you're gonna have. You're gonna download from the website. Make sure you get the right edition. So I went to the Floe, the Ring 360 Floe, whatever it's called. Where's the box again? Anyway, and the Ring Plus. I downloaded the software, didn't work. Downloaded 2-3 times, and it really didn't recognize some controllers. But now I'm all good. If you connect the way I showed you, it's gonna work. And if it says, oh, it doesn't say a controller, you know what? Just make sure that your molecs are fine. All right, so this is it. Controller 1, controller 2, controller 3. You can have multiple profiles. One thing you're gonna do, number 3, it's not gonna show as it's gonna show just as a Ring Plus probably, you know, and then it's gonna do that. It's gonna say there's a problem right here. So you go and you put Floe Ring RGB, and there you go. So that's what you're gonna do. All right. So here it is. Like I said, you can see the head. I'm gonna go click on this thing here. This is just the power. All right, and this thing here, the yellow thing, is the power. So I'm gonna click on this, and you're gonna see the head is now off. So I'm gonna click on it back, and it's back on. So that's what it is. All right, so you can do modes and all of that, but I just wanted to show this. When it works, it's what it's supposed to look like. And when you see this the first time, each of them are different. You know, fans. Like I said, they got controller 1, number 1. Me, I know which one because I noted it. So I just went in and I just wrote back of the case 14-inch. And then number 2, top of you know, of the case. This is the fan that's in the back, 14. Top, mid, 14 as well. So what you do is that you cycle through them. Here you click on this, and then you click on that, and then you go cycle through them. That's what it is. All right. Initially, I didn't know what it was, how to work that. So because my controllers in the software show me the same thing for different controls that I didn't have, so that was weird. But I remade all my connections. I'm returning one unit that I have right here, so I need to go to Buffalo, drop that at UPS, send it back to Amazon US. So this is what it is right here. So these are all the different fans, and you can just change that. One thing that I saw, the older version and the older controllers, which are different. The first Ring generation of fans and the first Water 3, I think it was called, from Thermaltake, they had only one row of the fan connectors were only one row, a USB style, but just one row, 5 pins. So the software was different, but you could do on one fan something and apply to all of the other ones. I still haven't found out to do it. So if you want to change the colors or anything, you have to do fan by fan. If I want to go remove the pulse width modulation here and I want them to go in performance mode, I need to do it on all of them. And then you click on this, they're going to start cranking. You're going to see right here, they're cranking up. You see that? But then you need to go and do it manually. So I'm sure there's a way that I can do on one and say apply to all. So now I'm going to be undoing that. Pulse width modulation. Pulse width modulation basically is the motherboard telling the fans, this is just how much I need. All right, so this is the PWM is the greatest thing ever. So that's what it is. And then, so anyway, so that's controller 1 with my 5 fans. Controller 2, that is daisy chain as well, that's 5. So the radiator in the front, radiator back at back top, back mid. And I've got radiator front mid, and I've got radiator front top. All right, same thing here. All right, so that's what it is. Controller 3, like I said, in the daisy chain, always the last one is the one with the flow ring RGB with the last controller, that is the one with the that came with the water cooler that does not have that bridge extension here. All right, so that's what it is. So basically, I think I went through the whole thing pretty much. So that's the install. Once everything is said and done, let me just try to take a snapshot here, because like I'm saying, trying to do this in just one pass. I don't want to go multiple pass, but that's a mean looking machine. All right, and this is not a cheap machine, by the way. With two 960 M2 960, I've got this one is a 2 terabyte for data. I've got under a 1 terabyte for the OS. I've got my nice cable mods, you know, customized cables for the GPU. That's what I had, the HX1000i. That's what I have in my other machine. And I want to get something else, the Thermaltake with the colors and all that. But you know what? Corsair is just too solid. I didn't take chances. I stayed with that. I took a case, the Thermaltake View 31, because it offers me the ability to mount the graphics card vertically, which I will probably do at some point. And I got an Asus X299 Prime motherboard. I love that little display right here. It tells me the temperature. And everything worked on it. A lot of people have problems with it, but mine worked just fine. I've got the Trident, the G.Skill Trident Z memory, RGB, and I've got 14. I've got a set of 4 times 16 for 64 gigabytes. That Thermaltake thing and push-pull configuration with fans on both sides. So yeah, and I've got in the back, I've got a 6 terabyte. You're not gonna see it. I've got a 6 terabyte, yeah, mounted in the back. I've got a 6 terabyte Western Digital Caviar Black. So that machine is pretty good, and I've got that beautiful Strix replica of Gamer GTX 1080 Ti. So I've got all my boxes there right here. That's what it looks like. GTX is right there, the Prime. I've got my cable mod, I've got my Riing, a whole bunch of them, my Corsair, my M2 SSD. So that's what it is. So when you build a machine, it's an expensive machine, and you buy that stupid radiator with instructions that are half-ass, the screws for the fans in the ring box, and the added, in the added fans like I'm showing right here, the screws aren't even compatible with their own radiator. So you know what, Thermaltake, if you go with the, I bought your case, I bought your rad, I bought your fans, make it compatible. That's the easiest thing to do. Anyway, hopefully, a little rant there at the end. Hopefully it is going to help you, some of you guys, because this is a beautiful thing. I have to say that the water cooler block is the nicest around right now with the colors and all of that. Once it's set up, it's beautiful. So hose is a little short. I know Thermaltake doesn't sit 100% straight. I would like to see it completely straight. If you do a machine like this and you cable manage the hell out of it, now you want your Thermaltake to be completely straight. So that's what it is. So hopefully it's going to help someone. And like I always say in my videos, I don't do videos for the clicks. Because if I can afford a machine like this, I don't need YouTube for the clicks to do it. I do it to help people. So if this video will help you, let me know, because that's what keeps me going. I was not going to make more videos. And this week I was traveling to South America for business. And I received just a lot of comments on my YouTube channel. Thanks, man, you helped me and all of this. That's what keeps me going. So if you think that's a stupid video, keep it for yourself, move on to something else. If that video helped you, let me know. Just thank me on it, send me a little note, and that's just what gets me going. So appreciate that. All right, thanks a lot, and I'll see you at the next video if there will be one. Thank you and ciao.